This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
What is up? What is up? Welcome into a little Johnny Radio's happy hour. I'm very happy to be with y'all, and I'm going to tell you something. Y'all know who I am, right? I'm John Harden. I'm a sports mixologist, but also I found out what else I am. To one of my very, very, very dear friends, I think I am a huge pile of anxiety because I worry the absolute bleep out of him because he's looking for me all over this place. He sees like 8 seconds left on the clock, and then he's like, "Where's John?" And then he looks over, and I'm just sitting right here like, "What's up, what's up, what's up?" It's magic, dude. Did y'all ever, I know y'all are probably too young to know it, but there was a lady that could move her nose, bewitched. I think her name was Samantha. I don't know, man. She might have been my mother. Who knows? I think I can do that. Do you know who Bewitched is? This lady that you could wiggle her nose and she could just like appear and be anywhere. I think I'm related to her. I really do. Because the way I got in my chair so fast, it's just magic. But the other thing that's magical is I feel blessed because I'm in Memphis right now and everything about Memphis is magic. And we had game day on Saturday. We had nothing but the Grizzlies tear it up last night. I don't even know how they did it with Jaren Jackson not doing jack. But ja. And let me tell you a little something about Mr. Clark. Holy cow. But we got a win last night. Then what about Tuesday? OMG, are you kidding me? Wiseman is more than advertised to be real, at least in my opinion. And then Precious Achiuwa looks like he belongs in a Rocky Deadgum movie from back in the day. He is built like a brick house. And I am so fired up because I don't have him for long, but I want to bring him in right here off the top of this. Like, it's been way too long, but it's just been the offseason of basketball. It's not really that long for basketball players. It feels like, though, for me, it's been almost a year. Lee Smith from the Tri-State Defender, how are you doing today?
Johnny Radio, man. How in the hell am I going to live up to that introduction?
Dude, I'm just so happy to have you back, man. And just to let people know, man, we're going to get Lee back every week, man. I'm so excited. Grizzlies are back playing. Lee's back on the air. I know I'm going to have to pull his teeth, but I'm going to make you show up. And if I have to take you to lunch, dinner, if I have to do whatever I need to do, man, if I need to take you to manicure, pedicure, I got this bad boy, Lee.
Don't play, man. I need a mani-pedi.
Hey,
I could use one. Ask my wife.
Oh, dude, I know that stuff. But in all honesty, man, this is something that's really, 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 really strange because, one, right now we're at a time as a Memphis fan that I think it's a little bit confusing. The Tigers, and I hate doing this because I ain't trying to add more pressure to them, but hey, Penny says bring on all the smoke. I was there when they were, I watched them in 6, 7, 8. I watched. I saw the talent when Rose and CDR, and I saw what Joey Dorsey was. When I see these guys, I'm sorry, I see more talent. I just do. Don't know if it's going to come together, but I see more deadgum talent.
It's stunning, and you were through the exhibition games, and obviously James Wiseman didn't play in the Bahamas. Didn't play in either of the exhibitions here, so obviously people were starting to wonder, like, okay, what is this team going to be? And you watch the team struggle, but to a man, if you ask the players and even the coach, like, what impact Wiseman has, well, we saw that. They play like a whole different team. Terry Davis talked about it in his piece covering the game that we had up, the next day.
Sure, dude.
And,
By the way, man, we got Lee Smith and TD in the house, man, from the Tri-State Defender right here on Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. So we repping hard.
We repping hard, man. And, he was just spectacular. Now, in fairness, South Carolina State, no doubt, outmatched, to the point where, from what I understand, the coach had told his team, like, look, he was telling them to tell themselves that we belong here. And so
it's the first college game for a lot
but
of those guys. It's still South Carolina State. I've seen much worse. It's not about the team. It's not about the opponent. It's about what I saw from the boys with Memphis across their chest. Yeah. It was incredible, and that's where it becomes so weird for me, Lee, because you can watch those, and you can actually now see all the gray hairs are back into FedEx Forum. The lower bowl is exactly full. You got the upper bowl. Everybody is pulling their self. The student section is doing its thing, even though it is extremely small. But FedEx Forum
people
is back,
sticking
baby.
around for a blowout win.
Yeah, it's
that
back,
was fun.
and they're wanting to see everybody. They want to see Jaden. They want to see anybody and everybody. And by the way, it looks like every single person that got in the game had showed immense improvement. So that at least says something about the coaching staff, at least to me. I know it was game one, but everybody looked like they had grown from year one to year two, except for right now we need Harris and I don't know, man, our diaper dandy to make a damn shot. I can't take my man wearing Depends on the court. It's driving me bananas. But I'm going to get off that and back on what I'm saying is for you, it's got to be weird because Memphis feels so back. Like they almost feel like they actually own the FedEx Forum when it's owned by the Grizzlies. You got Tiger football that has now stepped on a stage that it's never been on. And I don't care what we say. We can call ourselves Hoop City all we want. Football in this country is still king. And when you get to the party in football, you have arrived on a different stage. And I think it doesn't just elevate the whole entire university, but I do honestly think that something as historic as Tiger basketball, it still does get a little polish and a little bit of extra shine because of Mike Norvell and because of Justin Fuente and because of the classes that came in and saw and believed and have built something that is just absolutely amazing. So when you got the football team dominating, the Grizzlies have to look at, not just the football team. The football team's dominating, the basketball team's dominating. So the Grizzlies.
Shout out to the women's volleyball team, right?
Oh, and the women's, women's basketball team. Heck, everybody over Memphis is doing good. It's amazing.
Yeah, everybody's doing good.
So when I was going to ask you,
and when you think about it, it's unusual to have a collegiate athletic program that has a reputation for being good in the two main sports, football and basketball. Like you don't ever really hear about Duke football, for instance, right? Or nobody expects anything out of Duke football, or for that matter, Kentucky football. If it happens, so to have both of these things happening at the same time, bringing so much light to the program, to the city. I mean, the city overall is kind of having a moment where you can tell Memphis is. Everybody, it's been happening for a little while, but Memphis is starting to become, one of the little cities of the moment. And
it is, but
when you get your shot at that, so far we've taken advantage of it every time.
We have, but I want to ask you a weird question that I haven't heard a single person. I haven't read an article. I haven't heard a person say this, and you usually don't ever hear about a college team giving an NBA team or a college team giving an NFL team or an MLB team cover, but I feel like because the fact that the Grizzlies are so young, they are so exciting, and yes, they won. They're 2-5. Congratulations. Is that right? They are 2-5, right?
Right.
But anyway, Hey, they got 2 wins. But what I'm basically trying to say is those 2 wins feel like a lot more because every win almost feels like a cherry just on City. Because I feel like the Grizzlies are getting straight up cover from Wiseman and Achua and Ball and Alo and everybody over there at the University of Memphis, the football team, Brady White. Like that is where the chatter is. And it's almost like the Grizzlies get to grow and just be loved.
That's a fair assessment. And, the other thing, but, at the same time, we don't, and I wrote about it in this week's Grit Grind Grizz, which I'll be getting up a little bit later today. But just the gist of it being that, the team as a franchise, we've heard over the summer, ever since they really blew up the team, decapitated coaches and stuff like that, pardon the pun.
How many people can name the coach of the Grizzlies right now? I don't even want to say his name because I think I'm going to do it like as a. Well, no, you can if you. But do you know what I'm saying? If you
Taylor
were walking
Jenkins,
around,
yeah.
how many people, if you said even gave him TJ, what would they be able to say his name?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. And it's a. But at the same time, and we talked about this over the summer, and I'm glad to see that it's bearing fruit. This is the first time I can ever remember in the history of the franchise that the Grizzlies have had what projects to be a league-wide superstar. Like we've had, star players. I would consider Pau Gasol a star player, but he wasn't a league-wide star. He was a star in Spain.
Poster star. He is the kind of star.
Yeah, there are going to be kids who Ja is their favorite player. And Memphis are their favorite team because of Ja, and they don't live here in Memphis. That's the kind of player that he is projecting to be, and it's electrifying to watch him. So while I agree with you that in terms of having a winning feeling, it's certainly what the Tigers are putting together so far, both on the football field and the basketball court, are certainly adding to the euphoria. There is a certain euphoria that comes with having the young, hot NBA prospect, the guy who other people, who are even casual fans tune in to see, oh, wow, he's going to do something spectacular. And then he goes and does something spectacular. It's a lot of fun. So, there's different reasons to be just as excited about the Grizzlies as you are about the Tigers.
You're exactly right. It is, but it feels like because of the Tigers and people were thinking Elite Eight, possibly winning it all kinds of crazy dreams. It does just feel like, man, everything is on penny. And my man TJ Taylor Jenkins is kind of just he's he's the main dog in the arena, but right now he's not the main dog in Memphis, and I think that's good for him to grow into this role. And I think it's going to be good for Ja, who obviously, like you said, is a superstar. Clark is coming on, but how many nights could you have Jaren Jackson Jr. go 0-4 and people aren't even talking about it because, one, they got the win, so that helps. But two is because they're still talking about the deadgum Tigers. They're still talking about game day. They're still talking about Gabe Kuhn's class. They're still talking about all of this stuff. But anyway, Lee, before I have to say goodbye because I know you have a lunch meeting, I want to introduce you to my producer, Gabe Kuhn. He's got a question for you. Gabe, this is my man, Lee Smith. What's up, y'all?
What's happening, Lee? We talked about Ja and his super sort of stardom. You could see it. You know what I mean? And Jaren Jackson Jr. has these sort of high, lofty expectations, and I see some of it. He's a very talented guy. But do you ever see him being on that level of superstar?
That's an interesting question, which is to say sometimes the league, whether it's through, just attrition or natural selection, so to speak, kind of anoints faces to be, NBA stars. Like, no disrespect, for instance, to Kemba Walker's game, but, would we be knowing about Kemba Walker if he hadn't been kind of packaged a certain way and promoted to us as a star? That's not taking anything away from his talent, but it is saying that, certain players, however it happens, are kind of designated as stars, and the Grizzlies certainly did that when they drafted him last summer as kind of the future of the franchise. What they did not expect, because we were all hoping that we did better than the 8 pick, coming into the draft. What we didn't expect was to get as high in the draft as we did, and then to have what appears to be a big shiny piece of gold waiting on us there. And so the fact that Ja has been able to come in and outshine Jaren so far is, kind of, a testament to, they play different positions. Perimeter positions tend to make the highlight plays and everything that everybody gets excited about. And now Jaren's not, they haven't seemed to click yet on the court the way that we hope they will. But I tell you what, man, when they figure out, I mean, I've seen Ja throw a lot of these lobs up by the rim, and I've seen Jaren jump. And when they figure out the timing on this, you know, people who are going to tune in to watch Ja are going to get to see Jaren. And I don't know if he's going to, quote, be on that same level as Ja in terms of league-wide appeal, but people are going to see we got a couple of really, really talented players.
You know, Lee, I have also one other question for you. You know, before I say goodbye, because I know you have to go, is Ja, he is the superstar. Is that something that Trey J is going to be able to accept going forward?
I think so. I think it was encouraging. First of all, one of the things that, you know, kind of had me excited even about, you know, the summer was watching these two young guys kind of bond. Literally, as soon as Ja was coming off the stage, Jaren was right there waiting on him, and next thing you know, they're shooting selfies and doing karaoke in the car in Vegas. And so I would say they seem to be developing a genuine friendship. And while it certainly is the right thing to say when somebody asks you, you know, all I care about is team success and all of that, yeah, that's the right thing to say. It sounds sincere coming from, you know, guys like Jaren and Ja. And I, you know, really believe Ja recognizes that for him to have the kind of success that he wants to have, both, you know, as a player and for a whole squad, that Jaren has to be able to step up as well. I think he's going to put Jaren in position to score. Again, I don't, you know, what's interesting about Ja is he has this, I guess it's a testament to his maturity that he has this kind of mix of both humility, like feeling like saying things in a humble way, but you can tell he's just brimming with confidence. Like, you know, the first night we talked to him, the media, you know, people were comparing his game to Russell Westbrook, and he was like, I feel like there's one Ja, and that's me. You know, it's like,
I love that.
And you know, for a 19-year-old kid to say that, who hasn't done anything in the league yet, and it not sound so crazy, you know, is a testament to the kind of guy he is. So I believe, you know, overall, both players are committed to team success. And, you know, I think that'll probably, and their genuine friendship can probably outlast it all.
You know what, man? Genuine friendship, people don't even realize how far that can actually go. Chemistry is key. And if these Grizzlies team can actually grow and almost be, until they're ready to take on Memphis and be that, I think, you know, that front runner of FedEx Forum, because right now it looks like Penny wants all the smoke. I feel like Wiseman, I think Achua, I think Boogie, I think Paul. I think that everybody and their grandmother is so focused on that I realistically think this might be the best thing that could have happened to JT. By the way, Taylor Jenkins, not Justin Timberlake. I just like to say JT because it's famous in Memphis. But TJ just don't sound as cool either. But you know what I'm saying is, you know, Taylor Jenkins can come into his own. All these things can happen. But the thing is, you know, I was at the game last night. People are still showing up because, one, they're excited about Memphis football. They're excited about Memphis basketball. They're excited about this young Grizzlies roster. They're excited about being Memphis. And that is
they're excited about Bluff City Law. They're excited
Bluff
about
City Law. Like,
all of this good stuff that's happening in the city. Like there's a wave of momentum that's happening in the city, and it's the fact that it's showing up in the sports arena is great. Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, I knew I wasn't crazy, man. I feel like everywhere I go, it's just everybody's got that M-Town fever. And by the way, the M-Town fever don't make you sick. Except for like in a good way, if you know what I'm saying, man. You sick, yo. It makes you feel good. It's like gravy. It's like getting Rice Krispie treats all over again on Christmas. Hey, have a great one, Lee Smith. And always remember the Tri-State Defender has you covered, whether it's sports, news, all kinds of things. If you like to read, watch videos, they always have you. I got Lee Smith. I have TD, Terry Davis. I got everybody and their grandmother that's taking care of business coming on here. So make sure you read them and make sure you always tune in. Because we're going to start doing this time, or we're going to do 1:30 normally?
We're going to work that part out.
All right, then. We'll do that off, I guess, when the off the air. That might makes a little sense, maybe. So go have a good day, and enjoy your lunch, brother.
Hey, Johnny Radio. Thanks for having me on, man. Looking forward to it. Go Tigers, go Grizzlies.
Go Tigers, go Grizzlies. Missed you, Lee Smith, man. It's glad to have you back, brother. It's glad to have you back. Check out the Tri-State Defender. They've got it on, and all the young kids just go to tsdmemphis.com. It makes it that easy for them. But always remember, I can't do any of this without y'all, my amazing sponsors, and I have some amazing ones. Heck, if y'all haven't gone to memphisfarmers.com and just changed your insurance policy to whatever it is, you could have kept the exact same thing. And if you just would have called him and said, I want the exact same policy, I just want it lower. And you know what they would have said? Well, guess what, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Smith, guess what? What? Rates have gone down. Yep, I saved $400. If you're going to tell me if I can save $400, and they actually sent me a note because I got 7 points, and they want me to take a defensive driving, for 3 miles over, for getting pulled over for a rolling stop, for a stupid camera ticket, for all this BS, they want me to take defensive driving. Man, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is he still got me $400 off my insurance. If he can get me $400 off my insurance, I don't even want to know what he can save y'all, Holmes, okay? Because I know he didn't have to talk about well, that one in front of that 2 and a 0, I think that one's not supposed to be there. I think he was doing 20 and a 15, and it's supposed to be 5 over. Maybe. Maybe he lied like that. I don't know. But anyway, all I'm saying is if you go to memphisfarmers.com, whether it's auto, home, life, business, rental, he's going to literally have you covered. And the best thing about it is we are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. He's got the power of farmers, but also he has the mind of a Memphian. So he knows this area. He knows where you want, what you need, what you have to have, what you don't need. So he's not going to rip you off. He's actually going to make sure you have the perfect insurance for your perfect situation, so you're always covered. That's memphisfarmers.com and my buddy Chad Gatlin. Tell him I said what's up. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm so excited. We got to talk about something. We got to talk about 67129. First text question of the day is this. Is it better to tank for Tua, or is it better to bag it for Burrow? What do you think?
What do I think?
We're going to find out a lot this weekend.
I guess we'll talk about it on the other side.
Oh, you know we will. And guess what else we're going to do? I'm going to explain to you how important it is because you're going to laugh at me. I have 7 teams desperate for a quarterback, 3 teams that have aging quarterbacks, and then 3 more teams that's quarterback situation is one dude's getting older, one dude's just kind of average, and then one dude's getting paid way too dang much money. We're going to talk about all that and more because guess what it is? It is a ladies' night because it feels so right. And you know what that means, don't you? Isaac Simpson's coming on at 2:30, and then Hardwood is coming on at 2 o'clock because it feels so good. But coming up next, we get nasty on the quarterbacks on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Memphis, it's official. Crab King Seafood is where it's at. For the most flavored seafood and biggest plates, run to a Crab King's near you. Visit our Bartlett Cordova location at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Starting this week, get 3 juicy snow crabs, 17 shrimps, 2 whole sausages, 2 corn, 2 eggs, and a large side of potatoes for only $43.99. That's right, $43.99. The price, the portions, the service is why Crab Kings is #1. Make the right choice the first time. Make it Crab Kings. Come and devour our tasty snow crabs, king crabs, shrimp, salmon, and catfish. Enjoy Memphis' best tasting pastas with your choice of toppings. Visit our Bartlett Cordova locations at 7140 Stage Road or our East Memphis location at 5992 Knight Arnold Road. Crab Kings is open Tuesday through Sunday. For more information, Google Crab Kings Memphis or download the app Crab Kings, a Memphis original.
If it's time for a new gun, rifle, or silencer, Tactical Guns and Gear in Collierville on Highway 72 is the best place to go. I promise they have the newest, most exciting selection of guns and silencers you could ever want. I don't care if you shoot for fun, hunt, or just need a gun for personal protection, Tactical Guns and Gear has the best selection of firearms around. The only one-stop silencer shop in Tennessee. In less than 10 minutes, they do all the paperwork. Take your photo, originate gun trust, take your prints electronically, and the best part, you never have to scan them again. Yes, silencers are legal. No special licensing, just a simple background check. Silencers don't make your firearms silent. They simply reduce noise for more enjoyable shooting, help protect against hearing loss, reduce recoil. It makes you more accurate. Best silencer place in the entire state of Tennessee, right here in Collierville. For all things guns and gear, ask for Jake or Jim at Tactical Guns and Gear on Highway 72 and tell them Eli says hi. Online at tacticalgunsandgear.com.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. Their newly renovated drive-in repair shop is open to the public. Whether it'll be your everyday driver, farm equipment, fleet vehicle, or heavy-duty truck, their ASE-certified technicians will get you back on the road. The on-site dyno is ready to run all the necessary diagnostic testing. From preventative maintenance to complete overhauls, Mid-South Power can handle it all. Stop in today at 3288 Mill Branch Road or call 901-396-0710 and online at mid-southpower.com.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
I am a bad machine. Super cool, super mean. And let me tell you something. That's what I think about in that quarterback down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You can call him Joe Burrow. You can call him Joe Burrows. Or you can say I bag for Burrow. Bag for Burrow. But that's the text question. It's 67129. I want to know from you. Realistically, people, do you believe it's smarter for teams like Miami, Tennessee, Denver, Tampa Bay. I don't even want to hear this stuff when I say Jacksonville. Trust me, when you look at the contract situation, you'll understand. Cincinnati and the Jets. That is 7 musts. Then you have an aging Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. Tom Brady is ready to roll at the Patriots. The Saints, yeah, they got backup Bridgewater, but he wants first-class cash. Once Breeze is breezing, and I don't know how you rebuild if you drop $30 million a year in his lap. And then Atlanta with Matty Ice. Man, that feels so old and cold. And then you got San Diego. Phillip Rivers has got more kids than I think. Man, who was that dude who had like 200 kids and built the ark? Wasn't it Noah? Or I don't know if he had 200 kids.
I don't know if it's 200
There was somebody
kids.
who had
He
a
had
bunch
two
of
of each
kids.
animal.
Oh, yeah, he had two
of
each
each animal.
All right, again, Phillip Rivers. All right, and then you have Minnesota, who literally is just stupid. They went and like broke.
It's
the
too
bank
late though.
for
They're rolling with what they got. We know that.
Cousins.
But obviously, with all these things, it depends on the situation. It depends on what you want to do offensively. Like the Bengals,
blow your brains out. Every single one of those teams right now. Here, the best situation in all actuality is the Jacksonville Jags with Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew. Realistically, out of all the quarterback situations, the best one. And I know that there's going to be a Patriots fan who's going to say, we got 6 Super Bowl rings, went to 8 Super Bowls day again, we got Tom Brady. And you just got your butt kicked by Lamar Jackson, okay? In front of everybody. And you know what? You might even win another Super Bowl this year. But can I realistically ask you a question? When Tom Brady's on a walker, do you think he's still going to be winning Super Bowls, homie? No.
What is he now?
42. Will be 43
Yeah, he's
next
old,
year.
man. He's still rolling. I mean, I'm not saying he's
Do you know
like
that we
as
freaked
good
out
as
about Satchel Paige pitching into his 40s? Nolan
Football's a
Ryan,
different sport,
and
man.
football is another animal.
Yeah, I agree. But he is literally already to the point in his career where he could retire at any point, truthfully.
Tom Brady, by the way, TB12. And by the way, did you know do you know his name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady? Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Thomas Edward, that's crazy.
And
That's
he's
my
a
dad.
junior.
That's my dad's first.
Is
name.
it really?
Yeah. I learn something new every day. Learn something new every day.
Wow, you should actually like him. By the way, he's 42. He'll be 43 August 3rd. Hold on. By the way, when does season start? September, August. What comes after August? September, Holmes. Yeah, he'll be 43 when the season kicks off. Whew. Anyway, back to what I'm trying to say, and this is the whole point. Out of all these teams and all the possibilities, of course, not all of them are going to do it. Okay? I know this. But I'm asking the question because, well, seems like the right time since Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Burrow is going to be playing each other. God willing that somehow Tua's not injured again in a big game, and he doesn't have Jalen Hurts to bail him out this year. That's for dadgum sure. But anyway, if Tua is injured, this thing is over. LSU will wax them. You know what I'm saying? But if this is what I think it can be, this is not going to look like LSU and Alabama 9-6. You know what I'm saying? Could this realistically be the first of 40 that wins a football game in an Alabama-LSU game?
See, I'm not so sure it'll be 40. I think that the
35.
offenses will roll. I don't know how the points are going to flow, right? Because like beginning of the game, beginning of the games,
Alabama can't stop Jack. They ain't stopping Burrow.
Well, I'm talking about defensively in games
LSU's
like this.
Pretty good on defense.
In games like this, defensively,
But
those
man,
guys come up with
Alabama
decent
was-
plans. So I think it'll take a second for them to score. Like I'm not expecting LSU or Bama to go down first drive and be able to put up 7, right? Like I don't know yet. I think that the offenses will have their way for the most part, though, down the stretch.
See, this is the thing that I'm going to tell you right now. I believe those years of, I mean, I hate to even mention his name, but like when you had Raekwon Smith, when you had a man who liked to wear Nick Saban's hat and went to the 49ers. Why is my name? Because he's such a bad dude. Why is his name? Rashard, dude, the linebacker who was drafted first by the 49ers, John Lynch.
Oh.
his first draft
Reuben
pick.
Foster?
Reuben Foster,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay,
Like
okay.
Reuben Foster. Like you think about all these downhill, like speedy linebackers who can light you up like a Christmas tree. Do you not?
For the most part, yes.
Right now, in all honesty, would you rather have Alabama's linebacking core or would you rather have LSU's linebacking core?
I think LSU's defense is more complete this year. Because you look at the back end, I think
Haven't
Grant
gotten
Delpit.
there,
I
buddy.
think Grant Delpit's a stud. I think the front seven sort of speaks for itself, though, because like both O lines are big, both D lines are big. They're all good recruits, so it's just sort of good on good. And I don't know which way to favor. Obviously, they lost, a guy in Quinnen Williams last year, who's he was a stalwart in that defense for Alabama. But I'm not so like worried about the front sevens. I'm worried about the secondaries of both teams with how good these quarterbacks are.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to get right back to the defense, and I'm going to sit there and say Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., that's the best wide receiving core LSU has ever had, period. But do you know what? LSU has something that they didn't. Jordan Jefferson, I think, was quarterback back like when they were playing as
Zach Mettenberger
and stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he even made it to the pros because of them. They were so dang good because he was so bad. But what I'm saying is this year you have a guy like Joe Brady. I told y'all at the beginning of the year, everybody made fun of me. A lot of people didn't even know who Joe Brady was. Was I not one of the first people you ever heard say his name, like, on air, period? Like, I was like, this dude is going to change LSU football. He is everything I heard from Drew Brees talking about having to lose him and how important he's been, blah, blah, blah. And, you know what I mean?
You want to know why I'm convinced now? Back to the text question. Want to know why I'm convinced that I would, like you said, what'd you say, bag for Burrow?
Bag for Burrow, baby, or
instead of
tank
tank for Tua. Only reason I say that is
you like
because
bags?
What Burrow did last year, he was impressive even within that disgusting
He's grown so much.
run-heavy offense, and it didn't take him any time when Joe Brady got in there. He transferred easily into that offense. Usually you have a learning curve. He didn't, right? He's got 30 TDs, 4 interceptions. He's second in the nation in passing yards, and he's only had this system for one season, not even a full season yet.
No,
this
I'm
guy
with
clearly can learn. He clearly knows how to play the position.
No. I'm going to tell you, you're going to laugh. He's heavier. He's taller. He's physically bigger. And as the play that, like what Tua did in the national championship game in the second half against Clemson will go down as the most historic second half in football. But it's also like 12 gauge. 12 gauge's run at Ohio State was one of the greatest 3-game stretches in the history of football. 12 gauge is playing in the XFL, yo. And I'm saying Tua is good. But what I'm saying is Tua almost peaked already. And I haven't seen look, he looks good, but have you seen him ever look better than that game?
I think I wouldn't say a regression.
He had a
the
great first half
injuries.
last
The injuries certainly scare you. There's a lot of high ankle sprains, and two, like he's always had a system that fit him, right? Like Joe Burrow didn't come into college.
Who has a better receiving core than Tua Tagovailoa right now?
No one. No one in the country. It's not even close.
The pros might not have. Like, dude, right now, I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of pro football teams, maybe other than Baker Mayfield, but he can't throw it to anybody, looking over there and saying, Jerry Jeudy, Devonta Smith, Ruggs, who else they got? Jalen Waddell. Everybody and their grandmother over there can run like a 4.3 40. He's like 6'2" and just like, I mean, they run gorgeous routes. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a beast in Jerry Jeudy, who's just a dead gum monster. So like, and then by the way, did we forget about Alabama with Najee Harris? They got running backs out the Frisname. Pretty good line. But again, for me, Alabama's defense doesn't look like it's ever been this bad since Nick Saban's first year.
And just comparatively, the two teams, the LSU doesn't have the skill players on offense that Alabama has. What Joe Burrow has done is more impressive, in my opinion. I know we're in 8 games in, but like Jamar Chase, his wide receiver, is his biggest weapon, right? And if we're really, if you think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is comparable, is even comparable to Najee Harris, I don't know what you're watching, right? Like, I really like that Bama team.
Who'd you say?
Huh?
Which back did you say? Because I don't even know who their real back is. Did you say a back?
Who?
Or
LSU?
Wide receiver? Yeah.
I said Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
So the dude with the hyphen.
Yes,
I call him the hyphen.
Yeah, but like, if you think Najee, if you think he's comparable to Najee Harris, you're not watching football the right way.
The third string, by the way, I know his name is like hyphen Price or something because I'm like, the price is right whenever I see him. But no. In all honesty, like I said, this isn't the days of like Alfred Blue. This isn't the days of OBJ and Landry. This isn't the days when you had.
And by the way, Justin, I left out Justin Jefferson as well. That's a really good wide receiver that Joe Burrow has at his disposal. I completely left that out.
But Justin's been double teamed all year long, and guess what? Guess what Burrow's done? Found the open dude. That's called not forcing the football and giving what the defense takes. I absolutely love that. He is by far their best in Jefferson. But you know what? Burrow has proven that he will take what the defense gives you. And if you look at what his stats are this season, you will fall over and you will cry and you will say they cannot be right because there is no way that Joe Burrow is really Tom Brady in college. And by the way, let me tell you something. This is not a joke. At Michigan, Tom was pretty good, but it was all about, like, you might be too young. Do you remember the guy who was supposed to play baseball at the Yankees, and he had the blonde hair, and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and oh my gosh, right now, why is his name? Drew Henson. And everybody talked about Drew Henson. And now, who's going down in the hall? Who's going down in the history books? It's going to be Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. Drew Henson was just a flash in the pan. And that's where I'm saying Brady didn't make it at Ohio State, gets to LSU, like learns from Brady, from Joe, and turns into a different and complete player. And right now, in my opinion, if he has a game, if LSU does what I think they're going to do this weekend, I think he's going to be the Heisman Trophy winner, man. And this is an LSU quarterback, yo. An LSU QB that could win the Heisman. And I would like to remind everybody of this. While Tua is always talked about as solid steel and sex appeal, he has 2,166 yards. That's 2,166 yards, 27 touchdowns, 2 picks. Joe has 2,805 yards, 2,805 yards, 30 touchdowns, 4 picks. OMG. It's sick. And by the way, his quarterback rating of 91.2 is 4th in all of football, and they've played Texas. Like, look at their schedule. And then, Tua, it ain't bad neither. I ain't going to sit there and say Tua's been horrible, but you can say this. Tua's might be just a little bit better because he's number 1 at 95. But do you want to know what? Tua has fewer yards, fewer games played, and I'm just going to say the straight-up truth. This year's schedule for Alabama been kind of boosty, if you know what I'm saying.
Cakewalk. Straight up cakewalk until now.
First time they're ever going to be challenged is this weekend. And you know what happens when you get challenged? Some people get punched in the mouth and they get up and they kick somebody's teeth in. Some people get punched in the mouth and they lay down. What is this year's Alabama going to do? Because I can promise you, Ed O, Joe, Burrow, all that good stuff, they're all coming out and they're punching people in the mouth. Bama, what you going to do when LSU runs wild on you? Hey, I'm bagging it for Burrow. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Start your day with the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Yeah, so Aiden's coffee spot is really undope. They asked what they can get me, and I'm like, the code to the bathroom. Stop trying to sell me something.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Also, the Wi-Fi password was too hard to spell, and I can, totally spell stuff.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
They didn't have any cups out for the free cream, so I just drank it out of the pitcher.
Get a quote online today at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Ryan Radke here from Westwood One with a Thursday night football preview. Hall of Famer Rod Woodson and I have the call coming up from Oakland when the Raiders take on their AFC West rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers. Both are looking to fight their way back into the division race, currently controlled by the Chiefs. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers helped that effort last Sunday with a win over the Packers.
It was a good team win. I think for whatever reason, we do better when it's a little bit, the Chargers don't have a chance. I don't know why. I wish we did better when everybody thought we were really good, like they thought we were going into the season. All three phases did a heck of a job.
Derek Carr and the Raiders host the Chargers for the final time at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum before moving to Las Vegas next season. Join us for the Chargers at the Raiders in Oakland on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Napa know-how. Now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Because when you put safety first, your equipment shouldn't be second rate. So upgrade to Napa Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
This year, the Home Depot can help bring the holidays home for free with free delivery on all holiday decor like artificial Christmas trees, big, small, white lights or multicolored, 140 varieties. Pick one out and we'll deliver it. Over the river, through the woods, right to your door for free. Free delivery on all holiday decor, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 1616 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 1616. Enjoy!
One of the things that marks a truly great restaurant is how much they use local products. And 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination, is no exception. Whenever possible, Prime works with local farmers to bring the freshest ingredients to you. That goes for everything, including the bar, which carries Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye, both locally distilled spirits. 117 Prime is committed to the finest quality in everything they do, and you'll know it from the first bite and the first sip that you're in a really, truly special restaurant. You'll know you're at Prime.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. For more than 26 years, they've supplied all the diesel parts that you need. From simple repairs to complete overhauls, they have it all. Whether it's heavy, medium, light duty, agricultural, marine, or off-road, Mid-South Power is the leading source for all things diesel. Fuel injection, turbochargers, engine parts, alternators, starters, and brakes, they can supply all the parts and services you need. Stop in today at 3250 Mill Branch Road in Memphis or call 901-396-0710.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour, and I can tell you I'm very stoked. Why am I stoked? Because all of you right now, you know, I've always told you, like right now, simple. Go to MemphisFarmers.com. You're going to save money. You're going to save money on auto, home, life, rental, whatever. Chad Gatlin has your back. That's Memphis Farmers. But by the way, how come people aren't paying nearly as much attention to what I'm telling y'all? Do y'all realize that we have this giveaway where if you go to sports56whbq.com, you can literally just, I know I look good, so it's kind of hard to pass my beautiful face. That is a really good looking picture. You know what I'm saying? No, actually, it's a horrible picture of me because I'll look even better. Anyway, if you scroll down, and I'm dead serious as a heart attack, you can literally sign up. And if you think I'm joking, all you have to do is go to sports56whbq.com. You can win prizes. There's tons of them. There's a Pick'em Pro 50K. There's this, there's that. The one that I really, really care about is how would you like your mortgage or how would you like your rent paid for an entire year? Did you hear what I just said? Your mortgage or your rent paid for an entire year. You get an entry for the drawing every time you go to sports56whbq.com. You listen, you sign up the first time, you get an entry. Every once in a while, if you want to get another entry, they'll send you like a 20-second video. You watch it, bing, bang, boom. You love sports, you get another entry. But like what I'm trying to say is, this is home for the holidays when 1 year of your mortgage or rent paid for free. Doesn't cost you a dime to enter. Go to sports56whbq.com because we got your back as always. Now, we've been talking about bagging it for Burrow or tanking it for Tua. Now, I got one guy who says, yo, bro, it's 420 somewhere. I'm bagging it for Burrow. Now, Holmes, this is not a flower. This is an LSU quarterback, okay? So I'm going to get to somebody who actually knows about that, and I'm going to go to the mayor of the Bush, and that's my good buddy Bill, who wants to actually talk about LSU and Bama. So are you bagging it for Burrow, or are you tanking it for Tua?
That's a very confusing question, but you know, I'm just an LSU fan. I'm an Ed Orgeron fan, and I just want him to win this game because I think it would be just awesome for him, his career, and his program. You know, going into the belly of the beast is going to be a tough one. But you know what? This game, all the coaching in the world is good, but when they get on that field, I mean, those guys hate each other. They just want to. And you know what? Ed Orgeron, the one thing about it, he don't have to have a five-star guy, even though he's got them. Those guys in that locker room, you can probably hear that whole locker room probably going in and out, where it's just shaking, where he's got those guys so revved up. They're like just a den of rabid dogs ready to be turned loose. I mean, I just can't imagine being in a locker room with Ed Orgeron as my coach leading me on the field against potentially the greatest college team, the greatest college program on their home field with a chance to get number one in the country. I mean, I just can't imagine if there could be the Federal Reserve couldn't have a bill to say strong enough to keep us from running through that thing. Those guys are going to run on that field like they're ready to destroy anything. Like the movie 300, I'm sure you've seen it.
Oh, yeah,
they're gonna
dude.
look like the 300. That's what they're going to look like, the LSU group.
Heck,
they're going to be
Bill,
like
you
that
get
group
me
run on
fired
that field, ready to just bring it
Fired
all on. Just take the stands down. Let them loose.
Dude.
Bring everybody out here on the field. All that
He's
football,
fired up.
Let's just do it.
Let's do this
Bill's
thing.
out here
Bill's
fired
still
up.
fired up. For
I
saying-
like it. I
can't
like
wait
it, man.
For this game.
I can
Man,
already
that game
tell.
should be at night. I can't believe it's in the afternoon.
I know.
It's going to be a game, a not-miss game. It's just going to be crazy, and Ed's going to be over saying things and no one knows what he's saying, but his guys know. No matter what he says, they know it. They know what he says. I love when reporters go like, well, no one knows what he's talking about. His guys are like, they got everything he says. They're like connected to his brain.
You're exactly right. Be good, Mayor, and stay out of trouble. And whatever you do,
Know what?
make sure you always keep it locked here. And make sure you go and go to sports56whbq.com. And I know you're the mayor of Nutbush, but win a year of free rent. And the other thing is, Gabe, no, I don't know what. Who the heck is what?
No. Know what I loved about
Does he
what
play for
Bill
LSU
said?
or Alabama?
The fact that he really likes Ed O. And I'll tell
He
you what,
likes him,
I didn't like Ed O last year because I thought he was stuck in his ways offensively. I didn't think, he was coming along the right way. I thought he had a lot of talent and he wasn't using it the
Kept
correct way.
Steve.
But know what he did?
Brought
He
Joe
went out
in.
and he found help. And I think a lot of college football coaches can do the same thing. You look at some of the people in the Big Ten, the Iowas of the world, the Wisconsins, the Penn States. They could learn from Ed O in going to find help with the passing game when you have a talented quarterback. And that's the one thing I have come around with Ed O, and I've absolutely loved it.
By the way, I don't think I could have said that better. This is an offensive lineman who knows quarterbacks. He played, right in front of and blocked for two great ones, besides a plethora of great running backs. But what I'm trying to say is he is right. Ed O, he didn't do and make the same mistakes he made when he was at Ole Miss. He learned it at USC. He took that knowledge, and when he got back to the people who actually understand what the hell he was saying, when he was going, I got a Hummer, you got a Hummer, and we're going to do all this stuff, and they actually knew what he was saying, he was in a perfect space, but he actually knew how to coach, and he actually brought in the help, and now he's got this young kid who has learned the offense in such a way that it really is unbelievable for an SEC quarterback in Joe Burrow to be playing at this level. It was all about tanking it for Tua, but don't say bagging it for Burrow ain't close behind. It's going to be a great game this weekend. Also, you know what else is great? Just living in M-Town. Coming up next, we're going to go to Hardwood because, yes, it does feel so dead-gum good on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Yeah, so Aiden's coffee spot is really undope. They asked what they can get me, and I'm like, the code to the bathroom. Stop trying to sell me something.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Also, the Wi-Fi password was too hard to spell, and I can, totally spell stuff.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
They didn't have any cups out for the free cream, so I just drank it out of the pitcher.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main downtown has all your game day needs with 30 TVs. If your game is not on one of the 20 big screens, then sit in a booth with your own remote. The Vault has game day specials on pitchers, buckets of beer, and great food, which is the best thing about the Vault. This is not your normal sports bar. Chef Dirk Meitzler from On Tour and Cafe 621 has all his favorites like Chicken Newport and his new lobster enchilada. Open for lunch and dinner every day with lunch specials for $12 weekdays with a drink. The Vault on G.E. Patterson in South Main, your downtown place to eat, drink, and watch the game.
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
I wrote this next song for a gal from Cheyenne. Should never have told her how Progressive's collision insurance covers injured dogs and cats. She said if they could love her pooch as much as she did, then so could I. Well, I couldn't. This next song's called Cat Person. It was a rough, rough night in Wyoming. The cat was out of the bag.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pet coverage not available in New Hampshire and North Carolina.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, a man that eats meat so rare, he only eats unicorns. Johnny Harden.
By the way, I'm the only person that knows where you can get that rare unicorn meat. So deadgum delicious. That's why I'm solid steel and sex appeal. I'm so glad you joined me for this beautiful ladies' night where the feeling's right. We're about to go to Hardenwood, and it feels so appropriate because we got the hardest hitting game of the year this weekend. And you could say, as a Memphian, anything that the Tigers are doing has been one of the hardest hitting games. Game day was here this year. They're balling, they're shot calling. But as much as I am a Memphis fan and I bleed blue, I'm also a realist. LSU and Alabama, Burrow and Tua, bagging it for Burrow, tanking it for Tua is like literally, if you were Charlie Sheen, it would probably like what did he call them? He used to call them his girlfriends. They had a name.
I'm gonna have to go. I know what you're talking about though.
It'd be like all of them in a whole briefcase full of goodies, like in that movie. Or like, dude, because Charlie was crazy. But that's basically how this football game is for the average person. And I bring this up because we're going to talk about cognitive ability, physical ability, and we're going to talk about gifts and why certain gifts. And we're also going to talk about a study that's coming through that can prove a lot of things that I say.
He called them goddesses.
His goddesses. That's right, his
yes.
goddesses. So basically this weekend's football game, as much as a Tiger fan as I am, it would be like me saying that my weekend is as entertaining with Honey and her dad and my dogs as Charlie Sheen, a briefcase of Yayo and his goddesses, okay? Let's just be real here. I love my life, I do. But Charlie's getting down, yo. And this is all before the situation. By the way, anyway.
I think the situation was always ongoing. It's just to be real.
I don't know. Listen, I don't even know anything about it, thank God. Anyway, point is, this is very, very crucial. This is like one of the most important things that I say to you every single day. 901-360-8255, because y'all are my people. When y'all call, I love listening to y'all. My buddy John has called the First Bank phone lines. I'm chilling here in the Family Leisure Studio where family and fun come together. I'm going to tell you right now, John, if you're looking for a man cave right now, Family Leisure has a huge sale going on at 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40, just in time for LSU and Bama. So what's up, John?
Good evening to the dynamic duo of Sports Talk, Dave Coon and yours truly, Johnny Radio, baby. Now listen up, folks. Y'all can take it to the bank. It's going to be LSU Tigers all the way. I'm on my way to Tunica. I'm betting them 300 straight up.
Let's do it, baby. Money line.
That's what I'm going to do, folks. Remember, the rolling is going to be the Tigers. And the greatest game of this year will be the game Saturday. And I'm looking forward to it. And also, remember, I love the Tigers. And, man, I am waiting to get cranked up in this basketball season. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, folks, Wild is going number one, baby. And remember, the number one station in the nation for sports talk is 56 WHB. Woo!
And the number one place to go right now is sports56whbq.com. Right now, register to win. Home for the holidays. Seriously, you go there now. You just enter to win, rent for a year for free. But you got to go in there and enter to win. Get on over there. That's sports56whbq.com. You're going to thank me so much. Man, you're going to love me, actually, because one of you out there listening is going to go to sports56whbq.com and not only see my beautiful face and listen to my beautiful voice, but you're going to register to win, and somebody out there is going to win their entire mortgage and rent for a year. That is straight up Disnope, just like Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Now, how do I start with Hardwood? By the way, Gabe, because I don't understand how young people learn about things anymore. How did you learn about sex?
Well, sexual education is still a thing. Like you go through it. They don't actually obviously they're not like teaching you how to do it. You know what I mean?
Not
like
an Alfred Kinsey
I would say
thing.
I got taught in 5th grade about the anatomy.
Did you learn from Dr. Ruth?
No, I sure didn't.
Do you know who Alfred Kinsey is?
I literally have no idea who that is.
So like all these old people who actually were the first to study sex, you have no idea who I'm talking about, do you?
No.
Because y'all went and did what, like DARE for sex education?
DARE.
Well, DARE is drug abuse resistance
No.
education.
I think it was like about, it's about like, 8th or 9th grade, you actually had to learn like what was going on. Like what the anatomy was doing, right? Like that, just a class, like a health class, basically. That's how I learned.
And very, 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 very fascinating. Now, there's going to be a lot of people going, hold up, what kind of question did Harden just ask? And I bring this up because it's actually really, really crucial because studies are important. You know that, right? Like, and Alfred Kinsey, people actually in the 50s and 40s and 20s and stuff, from what I have read, like women were very underserved in this department. A lot of people didn't know much about it. It wasn't talked about. It was very blasé. So again, education takes you to a different level, and this is what I'm trying to get at. And there are two things about education that have made me realize that we might be there. They're in deep, deep, deep trouble, or we might be all right. But right now, I think we're in deep. Actually, both of them make me think we're in deep trouble. First study, and it wasn't by Alfred Kinsey. And he didn't teach you how to have sex, but he did. This is one of the most extensive studies done. It's a 10-year study of 11,258 people who ended up being high achievers. The entire study, and it included a heck of a lot more, but these were the ones who ended up, quote, successful. What does, quote, successful look like according to this study? Most people think to themselves, well, obviously, job, maybe kids. I don't know, a lot of things. Well, one is they did make sure that you had enough money to, take care of all your business, happiness, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the interesting thing about this, out of the 11,000 people that were studied that actually made it to the top of whatever profession they were in. I don't know if you read this. This is going to blow your mind. What do you think the most important thing is? And I'm going to give you 3. Is it physical ability? Is it background and cognitive ability? Or is it grit?
Okay, so I'm going to have to go grit.
Holy cow. You're 100% right. It didn't really, a lot of the people who failed were a much higher cognitive ability.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of cognitive and physical ability.
Heck,
but
look at it.
They
Antonio
can't persevere.
Brown's
But
physical ability.
Exactly.
Physical ability. He's best wide receiver and can't even play in the
being
NFL because he's an idiot.
Being able to persevere through things is an underrated trait, man.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Perseverance, the ability to learn, having grit, and accepting constructive criticism are some of the things that people do. And by the way, it ended up being, do you know what the study started out with? 18.5 million people. Only 11,000. You heard what I said? 11,258 were what they considered high achievers and were successful personally, professionally, and as a parent. That is a scary deadgum thought. That it took that many millions of people to study to actually find 18.5 million people. Oh, by the way, do you know how long this study went on? Over 10 years.
Can't you call that a case? It's a case study at that point.
Mm-hmm. It is a case study.
That's a
huge study. The U.S. Army put it on, by the way. They studied the cadets. They studied all kinds of stuff. This was done by the
Speaking
government.
of grit.
This was the U.S. government, by the way, their active duty command unit in the Army that did the study. But I just found that fascinating. And they said grit actually, believe it or not, no matter what you do, ended up being the one. And that's one thing I always say about football. You learn, like I've always said, uncoachable kids become unemployable adults. Do you know what I mean by that? You learn how to be a gritty, tough little SOB when you play in a little bit of football or a little bit of, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's not necessarily, you don't have to be that. You don't have to play sports. I think they do teach.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah,
There's
they certainly
ways.
teach. They certainly teach like those lessons. But you know, you can have all the physical ability in the world, but if you're not there to persevere through things, if you feel
Antonio Brown,
if you feel entitled to things, and you cannot take criticism and better yourself, you leave yourself in a bad position.
And by the way, didn't I bring up Antonio Brown because you're Hardenwood, isn't it?
Oh wow,
Antonio?
great
Yeah.
transition. And it's not. It's somewhat newsworthy because it's just ridiculous at this point. AB's acting like he will never ever go. If the NFL offered him, he'd never go. He tweeted this morning. Of course, he went on one of his tirades and said, "Imagine conforming to a system, giving it 100% to see them treat me like this unfairly. Making money off my sweat and blood. F the NFL. I'll never play in that S. Treat black people the worst. Clear my name and go F yourself."
Wow.
So I'm assuming the NFL and AB have not reconciled yet. I'm assuming that they're not on good terms still. I think that's pretty fair to say.
Interesting. That is
very on brand. Very expected.
What I'm just saying is that it's so Antonio Brown right now. Does he not realize that the only chance he has right now, what is it, VHS? And they're like a TV or like Celebrity Rehab. Like he is going to go down the path of, I was the greatest. He's going to be Vanilla Ice on Celebrity Rehab. Yo, do you remember Ice Ice Baby? Yo, I used to go like, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition. And girls were like, yo, I'm Vanilla. And I was like, yeah, let me ice everywhere. What's up?
You're a fool, man.
So this actually happened. Well, not in real life.
He needs to rehab his personality. I mean, it's scary for him. Like, you don't act like this if you like yourself.
How come
That's
the
all
Kardashian, I can't
you
believe
really
the Kardashian
enjoy yourself
hadn't knocked on his door yet,
and
because you know ratings would go sky high.
Oh, of course. But if you're happy with yourself and you sort of feel good within your own skin, you don't do things like this.
No.
So it's deep. I feel bad. Like, I'm like, this guy is really just a absolute loose cannon. He doesn't know how to control himself anymore.
To be honest with you, can I tell you what he is? Like, truthfully. Wait, I don't know if I can say that. But he's a word that you could switch B with which, and you would understand exactly what I'm saying. Straight up, that's all he is. Crummy father, crummy person, crummy teammate, bigger egotistical maniac, psychopath, narcissistic, absolute animal. And the simple fact that he compares himself and his struggles to other things makes me want to vomit. Please, Antonio Brown, go slap yourself. It'll make us all happy. And do me a favor, can Twitter ban him?
If they have not banned O.J. Simpson, all right?
It's a great point.
They are
right.
not
If
banning Antonio Brown.
It's amazing.
It's like, truthfully.
That's a very, very good point. Like O.J. putting on, my Nike glove today was awesome.
And is it bad if I follow him?
Yes, it is. You sick
Should I not admit that?
You're so bad. But by the way, can I bring up something? Because this is going to be me and you in about a fight real quick, and I need to bring this up quick because I know this is going to start a fight between us. But I got into it, and I'm going to tell you, this idiot I want to slap upside his stupid head. I actually listened to a 22-year-old punk try to tell everybody and their grandmother, all you morons in the 80s and the 90s, grow up and realize there weren't any good athletes, good players, and it wasn't physical or tough.
No, we're not in a fight about this, but I will say this. The physical altercations don't qualify for me as it being a physical game because they were still fouls then. I think it's overblown just a little bit. I do think if you put Michael,
the 1 minute little thing of just like fights.
No, but I will say this:
you watch a game. The reason it was 88-90 is because they actually played defense and won 147 to 142 because they can shoot better. Because I can promise you, Magic, MJ, Larry, they could shoot.
MJ pops in the league.
Reggie Miller could effing shoot, dude. Trust me.
If MJ was in the league right now, he'd be a top 3 scorer. Not even a question. Not even a question. Do I think that the physicality of the game back then is a little overblown? Yes, I really do. Wow. Because I think today there is really good basketball players, and I don't think today's guys get credit enough from the old heads in that regard. Truthfully.
Now, you do respect, what's his name, Michael Wilbon, and what's the other dude, Tony Kornheiser? Kind of. I mean,
for the most
they've
part,
been watching for a long time, and there's that other dude who does been covering the NBA. All three of them say, and they constantly say, today's NBA is soft as Charmin. Ron Tillery is one of my best friends. I talk to him on a reg. He covered the league literally every single night for 20 years. Not just the Grizzlies. And you know what he said? The game has changed so much. It is not even funny, but it's not because of any other thing but one thing, and it's money. It's because they look at the guys as assets instead of having their keisters on the court, and they didn't care about them the way they do today. And they never invested the type of money. But I will also bring this up because I don't, like this guy said, as I said, there wasn't any talent when Mike played. And I guess Magic Johnson and
false.
Larry Bird and Kareem.
Could not be more false.
Isaiah Thomas. You know, you can go before him. Julius Erving. Dominique Wilkins in his era. Rex Chapman, believe it or not, could let it fly. I mean, I'm just saying Joe Dumars. There is Clyde Drexler. What's my dude who you used to shoot? Dan Marley. Dan Marley, Thunder Dan, he stinks, blah, blah, blah. Bill Laimbeer would have knocked you on your keister. Dennis Johnson was a bad little guard. There were so many people. Bernard King back in the day. People actually.
You talk about Bill Laimbeer putting people on their butts, but
Charles.
I think even back then he was fouling people.
Daddy.
He was still fouling people.
Well, dude, that you used to actually be able to touch people, and there was a physical game.
No, Bill Laimbeer was still fouling the hell out of people.
Hakeem Olajuwon, people are going to forget about him. Hakeem the Dream.
Who said this?
It was just some idiot on Twitter, and by the way, somehow he had like 40,000 people.
The thought that there was not enough talent back then, I do think there's a lot of talented people nowadays. Like a Kevin Durant going back then and playing would dominate, truthfully.
I mean, I'm just saying, but you act like he's the first. I mean, what do you think? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wouldn't dominate today either?
No, I didn't say that.
I know, but like
I'm just saying.
That's
Like,
what I'm just saying is it isn't much difference. But I will say to you, the way Kevin acts, and the amount of money that they were paid, I don't think his attitude would work in the NBA, and they would have pimp slapped the absolute bleep out of him. And that's something that you just don't get. The world was a different place back then there, and that is something that I don't know how to explain to you unless you lived it. Back then, now today, kids like drive by and shoot everybody. People literally used to settle it on the court, on the field. People didn't like each other. There was fights. They didn't go on a banana boat. They didn't make so many millions that they didn't have to work off-season jobs and just get on cruises. Like, it was a different world. I'm not saying that it's not better today, but dude, give the men that came before them and made this game, because without the guys before them, LeBron ain't making jack. And just the disrespect that some of these older guys are getting, at least from some of these younger dudes on Sham, on, Spun. I was reading an article. Some of these younger, quote, websites with these 22-year-old writers who just feel like they can call a 45-year-old dude over the hill and doesn't know his head from his you-know-what. Dude, this 45-year-old will pimp slap the bleep out of you. Anyway, speaking of pimp slapping, I love the fact that nothing has made me feel better, like I'm ready to pimp slap somebody. Like back in the day, I was sitting back, scared, old, broken, but then I started doing CBD, CBN, CBG, and I started because I went to your CBD store. Now, I originally started going to a couple doctors, and all the doctors wanted to do was give me drugs. By the way, I don't know if you go to doctors today, they just want to give you drugs. Yo, take this, take this, take this. Then you go and read about it, and the side effects are like, yo, you might not be able to, speaking of Alfred Kinsey and Dr. Ruth, or you might not be able to do this, or you're going to have headaches and migraines. I'm like, dang. CBD, no side effects. Your endocrine system produces CBD, CBG, CBV, all these things. You need to check it out. It will blow your mind. And your CBD store, that's the name of it, your CBD store, they're the only place I trust, because one, I've had like 16 people, and it literally, I've even had a person, and I know, don't get mad, I'm not going to say your name. I love you, Hunt. I love y'all. But you text me, hey, you can't say that you'll pass the drug test. That's wrong. No, I can, because I have the lab results right here. I've already taken the drug test, been taking it, and have a bunch of people. This is 100% fully extracted with a PhD and a scientist in there in the lab. And before they give it to you, they test it. And if there is any THC, you don't get it. They're not going to sell it to you. It is 0.0.0. Not like, hey, we're 99.999 and you're going to fail your drug test and lose your job. No, there are pet products. There are tinctures. There are water solubles. There are gel caps. There are oils. And this ain't a gas station. This isn't Walmart. This isn't Kroger. And this sure as heck isn't the head shop that's also going to sell you a drug test. Hey, dude, take this CBD, and then when you got to go past your drug test, take this. No. This is like going to a doctor's office. I'm being dead serious. One of the best things I've ever done is not just get them as a sponsor, is actually going to see them, because your CBD store has made me a different person. Like I said, I'm ready to pimp slap folks. Like I'm ready to run a race. Who knows? Gabe, you think I can do a 5K?
Absolutely not. No.
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm on CBD go.
I want to hit this text line real quick. Someone says, today's athletes are a bunch of crybaby chumps. Do you share those sentiments?
Unequivocally.
Okay, and then another one.
Well, we just talked about Antonio Brown. I mean, I can go on about this all damn day long. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't even get me
Another
started.
one says, Bill Laimbeer wouldn't be able to compete in today's game.
Please.
Whatever. I don't know, man. I don't think he would. But
okay.
It's a different game. Now, I'm saying today's game.
I don't care what damn game they're playing. I guess you don't remember. Bill Laimbeer was not like some normal dude. Bill Laimbeer was a 7-foot, 300-pound monster who could run the court, rebound, and also he had a great shot. Do you want me to pull up his stats? Like, you can look at the dude. Oh, yeah, that's right. 84% from the free throw line. That's a horrible, horrible, horrible. 50% field goal. Horrible.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, and he also brought down, had 13 points and 10 boards. I mean, that's his career. Isn't that called a double-double?
Yeah.
He's got a world title, right?
Yeah.
And he's also, again, 7 feet tall and 300 pounds.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
But he couldn't play.
There's a lot of those.
Dude, so you're saying Arvydas Sabonis couldn't have played in today's game too? Again, you didn't see him. That's what makes me laugh about y'all, like younger folks. Like Sabonis,
you've been out of shape. You've really been out of shape about this, huh?
Because I remember being the moron talking to like my father or my grandfather and actually like thinking this, and then I ended up meeting like Buster Douglas after he beat up Mike Tyson, was saying he couldn't like ever fight so and so. Or I ended up meeting some of these people, talking to these guys. And then you're like, whoa. And then actually, you watch a old video and you're like, wait a second. All these guys care about is making rap music and spending their money.
Come on,
and making
man. Not every single one.
Okay, Damian Lillard is right now caring about doing music. Shaq and him are doing district. I'm just saying the world has changed. Back then it was all about sports. And if you can't understand that, and I'm sorry you like I
think my point is with Bill Laimbeer, I wasn't literally going. He fouled too much. There's no way he would
the game back then.
It was different. I'm saying in today's game is what the text said.
Please, somebody, 901-360-8255. All I want you to do, somebody who's a basketball person, can you tell me if the 80s and 90s, since Gabe is telling me how these guys couldn't, like Bill Laimbeer couldn't play in today's game, Steph Curry couldn't get on the damn court in the 80s or 90s, because you know what? His thing would have been broken and he would have been a crybaby little you-know-what. Neither could have... Dude, you think I'm joking? Go ahead. 901-360-8255. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. This is... Oh, I got Isaac Simpson coming up. Sports 56, 96.1, and the Tigers are good. 87.7 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
When you're in need of quality jeans, shirts, and boots, think Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch. Frontier has thousands of square feet of merchandising at everyday low prices. Tons of jeans by Carhartt, Wrangler, and Ariat. Whether you're after classic denim jeans, dungarees, or work pants, you'll find them among Frontier's amazing selection of stylish modern fits. Flame-retardant jeans and shirts now available as well. Colder weather is on the way, and Frontier is prepared with overalls, coats, and fleece jackets. Women's Sherpa jackets by Simply Southern starting just $29.99. Don't forget the boots. Frontier boasts dozens and dozens of styles of boots, work, dress, or play. Come try on the latest boot trends as well as proven classics, Ariat, Durango, Dan Post, and many, many more. You are guaranteed to find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need.
Yeah, so Aiden's coffee spot is really undope. They They asked what they can get me, and I'm like, the code to the bathroom. Stop trying to sell me something.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Also, the Wi-Fi password was too hard to spell, and I can totally spell stuff.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
They didn't have any cups out for the free cream, so I just drank it out of the pitcher.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
The Man Cave sales happening now at Family Leisure. 3-piece theater seating sets, only $9.99. Massage chairs, starting at $6.99. Pool tables, now at $14.99. And shuffleboard tables, well, they start at $19.99. Still need to close your pool down? Call Family Leisure to get on the schedule. Mention this ad, $20 off. Complete your Man Cave today at Family Leisure. Witten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train.
You know you bound to wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee, Jed. By the way, Gabe, I listen to The Panic. I listen to a little Grateful Dead. I'm a much more chill person. I like the world that I grew up in. I don't want my son to have this kind of scar where he was stabbed fighting. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of things like.
This old school basketball thing clearly cuts deep with you.
No,
right?
no. What clearly. I was trying to explain is I don't like a 22-year-old kid who comes at me and tries to tell me that people are tougher today. I am sorry, I will laugh every single damn time because
that's
you
just
couldn't
a horrible.
hold their
That's a horrible argument. Like back in the day, they used to do in football 3-a-days, 4-a-days. They didn't have the same equipment. They're still knocking heads. They didn't care.
Basketball practice used to be played.
You just told me
football pads. Yeah, Eddie
you
Sutton.
just told me that.
Yeah.
That's
you didn't
just.
Think
but
it was real.
Thinking back on that, it just seems pretty ridiculous.
Water was given as a privilege. I mean, again, like we.
I think that is those things are ridiculous.
And then also, now, but this is a different time in this world. Boxing in how you would have Bull in the ring, and you would have the dudes end up going at it. It would always turn into helmets off, and it would always turn into a boxing match every single day, and that's how we finished the practice.
I'm glad we're not in time. There's still fights. There's still fights out.
No, but this was put on for 5 minutes to end practice by the coaches and bloody noses and teeth missing.
I'm glad we're in a different time though. I'm being serious.
No, but what I guess I wasn't trying to get mad. What I'm trying to just say is,
you young
LeBron,
punks try to say you're tougher.
It's not. It's not that. It's just we have wised up in some aspects, and we are much better parents, and we're a lot more educated. But coming off at night from load management and Kawhi Leonard not playing because of, what he perceives as, well, I want to be ready for the playoffs or whatever, and that's supposed to be better, and it was the number one game. I'm just saying no, we can't go back to the 80s and 90s because it was obviously wrong. But obviously 2019 in this load management situation, you got guys paying, $10,000 for floor seats to sit there and watch them play each other who aren't going to get their money back. This is the reigning MVP against the reigning finals MVP. And the only time you're going to get to see them play, and bing, bang, boom, guess what? Load management. And that's what I was trying to just say is today's player needs to figure out if you're going to make the money that the guy set forth for you, at least honor him in some aspect. You don't have to play on back-to-backs.
So it's
but
one
at
of those.
least play in the big games.
So it's somewhat of a disrespecting the game and who came before you type of
people who came before you and didn't get what you got. Yes, they made the NBA.
I think
the NFL.
I do think the load management thing is a little much. I think eventually you could sit out for rest at some point.
Oh, absolutely, but not at
for
the
a big game that you should
year.
go and want to win. You're 5-2. You're not necessarily killing it right now. Like you should go out there against one of the best teams in the league and want to win.
Well, the thing that breaks me more than anything is why couldn't he? Like you're gonna sit there and oh well, Clippers fans are gonna be mad if they didn't play against the Trailblazers. Look, I like Damian Lillard and everything, and yes, I think he's a great rapper, but he's not the reigning MVP. Kawhi is the reigning Finals MVP. Giannis, the reigning MVP. It was sold to the world, and when I found out he wasn't playing, I almost cried.
I think the main point is wait till a game that doesn't quite matter. You're playing the Hornets, or you're playing
kind of like how I was saying the Grizzlies could sneak by this year because the Tigers are all the focus. That's what if you want to do load management, do it when you're playing Charlotte. Don't do it when you're the number one game on television and everybody's talking about it. Now, I got to talk to the busiest man in football and the busiest man in basketball and the busiest man in M-Town because I bet you don't know if you're coming or going since game day, Grizzlies, Tigers season started. How is Isaac Simpson are you living?
I'm here, man. It's been wild. Ever since last, I feel like I haven't slept since last weekend. I haven't much, but it's been crazy. But it's been fun, man. To see
pinch yourself a few times.
Yeah, definitely to have game day here, and you look at it. You got Memphis Tiger football and the college football playoff rankings, which I think we got a little cheated there. But they're in the rankings. You got the basketball team in the top 25, and they look fantastic the other night, man. So Memphis. I heard you talk about it earlier. Memphis is the place to be right now, man. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Man, you ain't lying. Now, can I ask you, because I do want everybody to realize real quick, Isaac's been joining me on Thursdays at this time slot for about a year now. He is on Twitter at Isaac_Rivals. He covers Memphis basketball, Memphis baseball, women's. He covers the Grizzlies. He covers everything and your grandmother probably. He's literally that. He knows maybe a little too much if you know what I'm saying. But that's a good reporter. But I want you also to check out Host. He hosts TSR Live. You got to check that out. But I wanted to get something to you because as you're sitting here and you do everything, the Grizzlies, you do the Tigers, heck, you do baseball and women's, you got everything that's going on. Is there a way that an NBA team can actually hide underneath the university?
I think there is some truth to that, the situation here in Memphis. It is a little bit different. I think for the first time with Grizzlies history, people going into the season knew this was going to be a bad team. They knew wins and losses weren't really the importance this year. But you have a guy in Ja Morant, I think, is a different ilk of player that they've ever had. We've never had a guy that I think has the opportunity to be a league-wide superstar. We've had very good players. There's no disrespect to Mike, Mark, Zach, Tony Allen, but it's just a different level, the excitement, the explosiveness.
Hey, we were excited about Rudy Gay, but this is also a different level of excitement.
Yeah, this is a different level. The kid's already averaging 19.8 points a game. That's crazy to see the numbers that he's already putting up, and he hasn't even scratched the surface of the potential that he has going forward. You can just watch him on the floor, the demeanor that he has. I kind of talked about that last night. He just looks like a superstar. He has that aggressiveness. He knows when it's time for him, he needs to make a play to kind of take over the game. You can already see those things in him. And once he gets bigger and stronger, man, I think that kid's going to be unstoppable. He already goes to the basket with reckless abandon. And sometimes it scares you, man. He has probably one scary fall per game, at least that one he had the other night.
His frame, for some reason, doesn't scare you, does it?
No.
It doesn't scare me neither. Gabe's he just...
No, it scares me.
The way he bounces up, man.
I think eventually he's going to have to let off of the gas.
I do agree.
On trying to dunk on every single person.
Yeah, he's trying to suck on everything. Yeah.
Maybe I just want that poster.
Man,
he's got one already. Really?
I know. I'm just ready for another.
But
I seriously thought he had torn his ACL the other night. I couldn't believe how he hopped up after ball. That was scary stuff right there, though.
Yeah, but Jaren Jackson Jr., man, he has been it's sort of. Do you think this is going to be a full year of a sophomore slump? Because you look at the fouling, you look at the rest of his game. Yesterday was one of his worst games probably since he's been a pro. I mean, I don't think anybody
it's by far his worst game.
I don't think anybody would argue with that. Taylor Jenkins tried to.
I was going to say, I don't think TJ knows what to do.
He tried to prove a point, though, last night by only putting him out there for 15 minutes after picking up those 2 quick fouls. But do you think this year is going to be a big learning experience for him, or do you think that he'll turn it around at some point soon?
I do think he'll turn it around. It's interesting, though, and I kind of talked about this last night. When you see Jaren is always a guy who he wears his emotions on his sleeve. When he's at his best, when he's out loose and having fun, and you can just tell right now that he's just struggling. He's not having fun out there at all. And I think the fouling has gotten to his head and it's affected his game. I mean, he can't get in a rhythm because he's in and out of the game every time as soon as he comes in the game off the bench, he picks up a foul. It seems like every time, and it's just been rough. And I think you kind of look at the way this offense been run. Taylor Jenkins is kind of running a free-flowing offense. Whoever has the ball.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it could be a frustration because it's not run through where I think he thought coming into the second year that it's all going to be about me, Trey J. Instead, it's just, Ja doing his thing, Brandon Clark some nights, Jonas Valanciunas last night getting his shot off. I mean, just, different guys do. I mean, heck, Jay Crowder doing his thing. I mean, like, it seems like this just, like you said, it's a very free-flowing offense. Is that something that you think that it may not just be in his head, but it's actually something that's bothering his head?
Yeah, I do think that, again, the free-flowing offense does bother him. I think that fits guys like Brandon Clark more that you don't really have to run plays for. I think Jaren is a guy who you need to run some plays for. I would like to see him and Dodd more the two-man game, and I think it's with the free-flowing offense, they're not really running any set plays like that. And you got guys like Brandon Clark who are thriving in that type of offense, but they're just running dump type of players. Don't have to play running plays for him. He gets these tip back dunks and plays off of rebounds. And I think Jaren is kind of a different kind of player. And I think part of it is due to that. But I think the fouling, man, that's just something that he's going to have to work through. Even going back to Michigan State, I think he only averaged about 19 minutes a game there.
Yeah, but they all blame it because he was just a freshman. He's young. He's going to grow out of it. Blah blah blah. Yeah,
but it hasn't happened. The thing about it is you expect a guy to kind of take a step from last year, and right now it appears that he's actually probably taking a step back. It's been a rough start, even going back to the preseason. You could see some struggles for him in the preseason games, and it's gone from bad to worse here. I think he'll eventually get out of it because he's too talented, but right now it's not looking good. And for them to win a game by double digits and him not score at all, I think coming to the season, I think if somebody had told me that, I would say, no way this team, with the way it's structured, could win a game without him going. But, man, they looked fantastic last night, man. If 3-point shots fall, man, you can do some things.
You shoot 52% from three. You should you should go ahead and win the game. But I want to transition to a little bit of Tiger basketball.
The king of Memphis.
And good Lord, man. The high hopes were there for James Wiseman. But to deliver game one, I know it's against South Carolina State. But he's going to be a matchup nightmare down the stretch. Like you look at a team like Oregon, who yes, they're a nationally ranked team, they're a top 25 team, but do they have anyone who could end up matching up with this guy?
No. Simply the answer to that question is no. And like you said, I don't know if there's anybody in the country that has anybody match up with him. Now Oregon was supposed to have.
Well, the Tigers do. They have Precious
and Foley Dante, but he's going to be ineligible until the beginning of the year. So. The Tigers actually get to miss him. That would have been a nice matchup on the inside. But I think I kind of short-changed James on Twitter. I kind of said he was as advertised. He was better than advertised. I mean, this guy was just dunking everything. And Penny kind of talked about, you look at the exhibitions where the team struggled in some spots. He said James would clean a lot of that up. And I think we saw the potential of this team and what they look like with their full complement of players on the other night. And I think the sky's the limit. I mean, they have a long ways to go. This team is young. It was South Carolina State, but you saw flashes in that game to where this team could be unstoppable once they figure out just how good they can be.
I think the funny thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't even see anything from him, really. Like, we saw the dunks. We didn't get to even see his back to the basket. We didn't get to see him step out. We didn't get to see him in the high post. Like, how much more to his game is there?
I mean, it's a lot. He didn't really show everything he had in the bag in that game. Because again, like you said, he could step out 3-point range. He actually likes to shoot the 3-pointer. He has some back to the basket skills as well. I mean, it was pretty much just a dunk show for him in that game. But he has a lot more in the bag to show, and people are already raving about him. They haven't even seen what all this kid can do. I mean, it's going to be scary again once this team figures it out. Because I mean, they still have a lot of things to learn as far as chemistry and different lineups. But I mean, you saw flashes on both ends of the floor, the length on defense, and how much havoc they can cause when they really get going. And I think they have an opportunity to have one of the fastest paces in the country. The way they would get up and down the floor, you couldn't even look down. I was trying to tweet and put stuff out. Every time you look down, you miss something.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have to say is, as much as James Wiseman has impressed me, he has lived up to the hype. He is going to be the number one pick. He is the baller shot caller. He is the guy who rises the tide for all boats, et cetera, et cetera. But Precious Achiuwa, I don't know why. I just did not expect him to be as gifted around the basket, have such soft hands, have vision, and be able to run the way he runs. He runs extremely fluid. I mean, this dude is running down the court, and he ain't running like no 7-footer. And I know James Wiseman, I mean, 6'10", but James Wiseman, we've been told this guy can run up and down the court. Precious has guns like Rambo, but he can run down the court like nobody's business. He finishes, he shoots, he's soft. He can do everything. And then you also can bring in a DJ Jeffries, who's flat out one of the nastiest dudes I've ever seen off the bench.
Once he gets it, he's going to be a scary sight.
Yeah, I think DJ is kind of been a forgotten man. We talk so much about
but
James
he's so good.
He is. I mean, we talk so much about James and Precious and Damian Bond. People kind of forget about DJ. I think DJ is going to have a huge impact on his team's success this year. And I think he's going to be a big surprise. As Penny called him the other day, multi-talented. He can pretty much do everything. He can put it on the floor. He can knock down a three. He can go inside. He's a good rebounder. He's a good passer. I mean, he can do it all. I love his game. I think he's going to be big time for as their success goes this year.
But the question with him is, when will he sort of understand the game at the level that these other guys sort of understand it at?
And I was going to say, it was kind of surprising that he didn't start. Penny actually went with Lester Quinones at
Take
3.
the diaper man off. I'm sick of the diapers.
But they kind of said DJ kind of told him that he preferred to come off the bench.
That's
and
cool.
I think it's kind of a different, because I think it might actually be better for him to come off the bench because of the way that he plays. DJ's a guy that kind of needs the basketball in his hands. And with so many guys, you got James, Precious, and the guards that they're starting
Lester,
with
Boogie, Damian,
and Damian in the backcourt. I think it might be better for DJ to come off the bench because it gives him the opportunity to kind of run the offense and have the ball in his hands more. So I kind of like that look, and I think I'm not sure if he stays with that because Lester is struggled. I think out of all the guys, he's kind of been disappointed, even going back to exhibition. His 3-point shot is just not falling right now, and I think he kind of lost his confidence a little bit, and I don't know.
Dude, I promise you, if he takes off the pins, his shot will come back. But Isaac, I got to go pay a few bills. I want to remind everybody at Isaac_Rivals. Listen to him when he's doing TSR Live. He's the best in the business. He is Isaac Simpson. Read all of his work at TigerSportsReport.com. Isaac, love you, brother. And I think you're going to be covering one of the top teams in the country, my man.
Yes, sir, man. Love you back, man. I always enjoy talking to you guys, and I'll talk to you next week.
Man, we'll be back at 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail, Sports 56, 86, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stats. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infiniti of Memphis, and we've got a new Infiniti crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infiniti has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why...
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together...
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
Yeah, so Aiden's Coffee Spot is really undope. They asked what they can get me, and I'm like, the code to the bathroom. Stop trying to sell me something.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Also, the Wi-Fi password was too hard to spell, and I can, totally spell stuff.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
They didn't have any cups out for the free cream, so I just drank it out of the pitcher.
Get a quote online today at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Now, back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Let's go! This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home. Here's Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Many a hand has scaled the grand old face of the plateau. Some belong to strangers and some to folks you know. Holy Ghost and talk show hosts are planted in the sand to beautify the foothills, shake the many hands. There's nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. See a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs Jackson when you got words?
What's up? What's up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Y'all know who I am, your sports mixologist, John Harden. Gabe Coons in the house with me. I'm at Johnny_Radio. He's at G_Coon. Well, at G_Coon71. Yeah, I'm good. I got something right. What can I say? Tomorrow, we got Coach Hodem and Bo Wallace. We got Lee Sterling. We got a busy day. It's a Friday. Don't forget, we always have David Cobb. Man, we're going to be rocking and rolling. We got picks, me and Gabe. We're going to drop y'all to make y'all money because all we do is win no matter what. So we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Life is good. But I got to tell you right now, we got a game tonight. You got to build up that bankroll, right? Yes, you do. And I got an easy one for you tonight. A lot of people are going to say, what do you mean you got an easy one? There's an easy game tonight. I'm serious of a heart attack. Phillip Rivers has actually played more games at Oakland Coliseum than all but 9 players on their roster. Yeah, he's won 9 times. He's played there 13 times. Wowzas. So he's pretty good there. He's got a lot of fond memories. But I will tell you this. Melvin Gordon has not rebounded. He was okay, 80 yards last week and a touchdown. I'm sorry. Raiders are going to be all over him. The more he's on the field, that means Austin Eckler's not. He's the real deal. Holyfield, he's got 90 yards from scrimmage in every single game this year. But the more they give it to Melvin, the less production they get. The other thing is Tyrell Williams is back for the Raiders. He's going to be playing the first time on the other opposite end because he used to play for the Chargers. I think he's going to have a big, big night because Derek Carr is going to find him all over the place. The big key, though, is can they keep Joey Bosa off of Derek Carr? If they can keep Joey Bosa off of Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs will run, and Derek Carr will throw, and the Raiders will beat them yo because the Chargers know how to find a way to lose. They are so sorry. It's not even funny. Raiders improve to 5-4. Chargers fall to 4-6. Oakland plus 1.5 is your play. You're very, very welcome. What can I say? Now, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Why do you know that number? Because it's Bills. You know what? Without that winner, you probably just want to sell your house to go play the Raiders tonight. I know, but chill. He closes in 5 days to let you think. It's 901-406-1101. It's as simple as that. Any house, any area, as is. 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. I'm dead serious. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. If your house has been on the market for a few months, why? Don't you want to move? Isn't that why it's for sale? 901-406-1101. Let's move this, buddy. Call Bill at I Buy Houses. I trust him. You trust him. We all trust him. I used him 11 years ago. He saved my keister. He'll save yours. He's a fixer. He's going to fix it for you. Speaking of fixing things, Raiders, John Gruden dominating on Thursday Night Football. How you like me now? Coming up next, Dave Woloshin, Brett Norsworthy. For Gabe Kuhn, I'm John Harden. Get out there and make the world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace!
For over 25 years, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 has been bringing you great local sports talk. With 13 hours of local talk daily, we continue to be Memphis's local sports leader. The day starts with Keith Parker and